respect is so important. It's an amazing feeling, particularly in the beginning, to go to distant places and they respect art and they respect the artist. And you feel it right away, just in the way that people talk with you and whisper when they talk. There is such a thing as African American art, which is an expression of the experiences, the values, the history, the concept, and etc. of African American people. And then there is the African American who is an artist. But in either situation, the concept is very, very risque. When I see rejections, I try to resolve it, and then I move on. But I can't live with negativity. Onye Ije means the traveling artist who has many friends. So I like that name, so I keep it. It has a significance, you know. For one thing, I identify with it. For another thing, it introduces me to an international audience instead of just a local audience. And I think that's essentially it. It's a name that I gave me. And as I began to travel around the country, I finally realized what a human being was. And that's an experience that really gives you insight relative to your work, relative to your ideas and thoughts, and your comparisons. What can I say? You know, I try to tell the story. I try to tell the story, and in it, I try to tell my story. Because so many people just are not exposed to certain images and certain concepts of reality. Of a given reality, let me say, okay? Because there's so many things that merge. There's so many experiences that merge, which are different from isolated experiences. The art world is a business. It's a business. And for whatever we may see or read, from the standpoint of the viewers, from the standpoint of the curators, from the standpoint of institutions, tell the truth, but don't make me feel bad. See? And so there's certain places you have shows, and there's certain places that you don't. Certain places you're invited, and there's certain places that you're not. And that's the way it is. Exhibitions have been had at the gallery right there at WCC. I had an exhibition there, but how many other artists of African American descent have had exhibitions there? That means the exposures, the values, the ideas that are going out to young people who are coming in and looking. It's entertainment. And I think it ought to be what I call edutainment. The entertainment aspect is fine. I go along with that. But you should learn something. It's a learning institution. You could learn something that could be helpful in your daily life. I've tried to teach students that for 41 years at WCC, that there is such a thing as a human being. And if you don't know what the behavior of a human being, the expectancies of the behavior of a human being is, you can't possibly be one. Then who are you? Not what are you, who are you? There's something in the world called love. Not lust, but it's an attachment. It's a wonderful attachment that allows you to see clearer, to hear sounds a little different, because what is music anyway? Nothing but sound. To see color, to see shape and form, and to see the interrelationship of these things, how they sustain themselves, how they diminish and come back. It's a beautiful thing. And when we can understand that, we don't have time for so much foolishness. And so that's what I'd like to think of as my legacy to my students, to my friends, to my family. We got a lot of work to do. And our work begins with understanding we instead of me.